All right, well, we'll get started. Brother
Let's
Gallman,
do it.
appreciate you, Black.
Thank you, Brother Bosley.
It's a pleasure, and we are so grateful to be here today and just having this opportunity to chat and figure out Omega and your appreciation. So if you would please, your full name and date of birth.
Okay. Rodney D. Gallman, born June 4th, 1955.
55. When you were initiated, your line number, how many brothers online with you in the chapter?
You know, there was 11 of us, and I was the 11th man on the line. Tail dog of the on that line, Cosmic Travelers, that's the line name. And so started out with 13, ended up with 11. And I was also the line president.
What year and what date?
Yeah, I crossed in December the 13th, 1975.
And what chapter?
Rho Upsilon chapter, Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Were you born and raised?
You know something, I was born in Elizabeth, New Jersey. And at the age of 2 months old, my mother sent me to live with my grandmother down in a place called Newberry, South Carolina. So I lived in Newberry, South Carolina until I was the age 14. Then my grandmother died, and when she passed, I went back to New Jersey to live with my mother and the rest of my family. I got like 6 other brothers and sisters, and so I'm the oldest of all 7 of us, but I call both my home. You know, New Jersey is where I'm from, but South Carolina I got a love for too because I grew up down there as a young man.
Good to know.
Yeah.
And you said you had 9 brothers and sisters?
7
brothers and sisters. Are they all still here with us?
Yeah, it's 5 of us left. I had, you know, a brother and a sister who died from drug overdoses, and so it's just 5 of us left.
Okay.
And so most of them all over the place. I got a brother in Atlanta. I got another brother upstate California. Then I got a sister in Virginia, another sister in Elizabeth, New Jersey. And so that's pretty much us.
Then your wife and kids?
Yeah, my wife is from California, born and raised, and I have 1 daughter, and she's 33 years old, and she's a Delta Sigma Theta, and so again, real proud of my daughter, and she's married now, and I have 2 grandsons from my daughter.
Bless. Education and background from the schooling standpoint.
Yeah, you know, I graduated with a BS in manufacturing engineering. So I studied engineering in college, and then I went later on after I got here in California and graduated with a Master of Arts degree from Pepperdine University. And so that's my formal education.
Good to know. Why Omega?
You know something, when I was in high school, I had met some guys that was going to Rutgers University. They lived in my neighborhood, and they were always talking about fraternities. I can't remember. I think one of them was a Kappa, and I'm not sure what the other friends in the neighborhood were, but they was telling me about the fraternity life. And so, you know, I kind of always said when I go to college, I'm going to join a fraternity as well. So when I went to University of Bridgeport, you know, they only had one fraternity on campus, and that was Omega Psi Phi. And so I started hanging out, and all my friends was kind of in the fraternity. And so I'm kind of grateful because I'm glad I didn't have choices, you know, and went in another direction. But, you know, that's what kind of led me to joining this fraternity. You know, I just always had a desire to be in a fraternity.
As you traveled in Omega, what are your most treasured memories?
My treasured memories come from just going to different places, different states, different colleges, and just having my fraternity shirt on only, and walking around meeting brothers that welcomed me with open arms, and it gave me an opportunity of security, you know, that I really didn't have as a young man, you know, and so it was like the best thing that could have happened to me, you know.
What leadership positions have you occupied in the frat?
Wow. I've been bosslers a few times. I've been vice bosslers a couple times. I've been KRS. I've been keeper of finance in the chapter. Also, back in as an undergraduate, I was a keeper of records and seals back there. I also been the keeper of records and seals for the district out here in the 12th. So I've had my share of leadership positions.
Pleasure, appreciate it. Service activities that you were involved that had the most impact.
There was a time when the Black Parenting Institute was around, and I got involved with them through another chapter brother, Jess Willard, his wife, Cynthia Willard. They were doing a lot of community service here in Los Angeles. And at one time, the chapter had teamed up with them. They would donate to some of our, scholarship fundraisers and our boat rides. And, I worked with them on some of their community affairs and met some very prominent people, while I was working with the Black Parenting Institute, Black Institute of Parenting. And so I can remember that being a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed that, as community service.
That was a beautiful.
It's been a lot of other things too, but I remember, I met, let me see who I met. I met some real prominent people like the president, Delta Sigma Theta at the time. I can't think right now, but there was a lot of people that I worked with that was doing some great things here. Danny Blakewell here at the, what's the name of this organization? Brotherhood Crusade.
There you go.
And so again, and also, let me see, the other Black organization here that he has passed on, but it's not coming to me right now, but just some real prominent people.
Jess Willard has touched us all.
That's right.
And Cynthia as well. And it was a blessing when I met them. So I can truly appreciate what you spoke on regarding the Willards and the greatness that they continue to have.
Exactly.
Moving on, ways to improve reclamation and retention from your perspective.
I think the more we make ourselves visible, participating in not just parties, community service, doing things in joint with other organizations, make brothers feel like they want to be a part of Omega Psi Phi, want to be active. A lot of times I've heard in the past people tell me, well, what are the Omegas doing? What are the Qs doing? Like, we're not visible. And so I think the more we are doing those type of things, the more we got newspaper write-ups, maybe some television promotions, even the fact that we might be in the park in numbers or as a group will draw other brothers to the organization. Because everybody want to be part of something good. They don't want to just waste their time. When you get to the graduate level of men, they got families, they got jobs. And so again, time become precious to them, But if you're doing things that again people can see you making a difference, I think that's what brings the reclamation program together.
Sounds good. What are some of the things about Omega that we should protect and sustain?
Oh, we got to protect these 4 cardinal principles. That's the do or die for: manhood, scholarship, perseverance, uplift. If you can't live those, then again, you're really missing the point. And so that's what we got to protect. Every brother I would say that I affiliate with, associate with, all our chapter brothers, everybody that's really financial or trying to live up to those cardinal principles. So it ain't just 1 or 2 or one chapter, this chapter over here. It's all of us, and that's what makes us great, living by those same principles.
Opportunity and ways to improve Omega.
Okay, well, we have opportunities all the time that, again, calls our attention. I believe people look to us to help them grow and help them to do better. And what our founders have done, Brother Bosler, is laying down the foundation. Is all we need to do is work with what they've laid down and just keep building upon it. I don't think anybody should come in thinking they gonna make us any better. You're gonna come in and work with us, and we're gonna look good because of it, but you're not gonna make us better because the foundation's already there.
True.
You know, and we had some outstanding founders. Man, I tip my hat to those brothers. Wish I could have met them. Wish I could have got to know them, because again, they was way ahead of their time. To think about 4 men in college that would take something that'll last over 100 years is remarkable.
Truly.
And so again, all I'm gonna be is a humble servant to what they've done. That's just gonna be my life, as long as I'm calling out these colors, you know, wearing this shirt. That's gonna be what I'm gonna live for.
Sounds good. Why have you sustained your enthusiasm and active involvement in Omega?
Well, now I'm gonna tell you myself. You know, all of my life, I've always, whatever I've started, I've always tried to finish it. Anything I've gotten myself involved with, I've always tried to do the best I can, you know. And so again, I'm a positive brother. I'm enthusiastic. You know, I don't think there's anything that I can't do. And so again, I work within whatever limitations I have, and I do have them. And again, doesn't bother me. But I think what I bring to the table is the love that I have in my heart. And again, accepting the principles that I swore by. And nothing's gonna change that. You know, I can't be swayed, I can't be turned around. That's just me. And so I'm always, you know, try to be the best I can when you talk about me as an Omega man, at home, in my community, on my job. That's what I do.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and to me, I'm getting emotional listening to you because I hear the passion and enthusiasm, and it's just
it's there, brother.
Yes, and I feel it, and I appreciate it, and it inspires me to continue, like you just said, with that perseverance and the cardinal principles, and just stand on those.
That's right.
Some of your dearest fraternal friendships, and why are they so special?
I don't know. I got so many. But I would, when I saw that question, because you know I did see questions before I got here, I couldn't help but think about my DP brother that, again, I went to college with. But not only have I gone to college with him, we've been lifelong friends ever since. He was best man in my wedding. We see each other once a year, every year. Anytime I go back east, I don't care if I fly into Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, he's gonna come pick me up. And so I got a few friends that I believe would do the same thing, that again I have a good time with, especially here in our chapter. You know, the brothers that we founded the chapter with, we were all good friends, running buddies before we even founded the chapter. But when I think about one of my oldest and dearest friends, you know, relationship that means the most to me, I would say my DP, his name is Ivan Kimball. And the funny thing, and I just want to say this about that brother, when we was in my dorm room one day, I was writing to an aunt of mine that lived in South Carolina, and he just came by my room to visit, and he looked at my letter, and he saw it was going to Newberry, South Carolina. He said, "Man, who you know in Newberry, South Carolina?" I said, "Man, that's where my people are from." And do you know that his mother and my mother went to school together, elementary, high school together? I knew all his uncles and aunts, his mother's brothers and sisters that lived. We grew up in the same town. And so I didn't know this about that man at the time.
Right.
But it just turned out that his family knew my family. And again, I knew his people. And it was just like God put us together.
It reinforced the friendship,
The friendship
that was built before you guys even knew
before we even knew
each other.
Yes,
Your family is already were
Right,
friends and aligned. And
exactly.
Omega was just one more link in that friendship. That
Exactly.
was before you guys even knew each other.
Man, I couldn't believe that. You know, we was fraternity brothers, already kicking it, already hanging out. Already, he just took me over not too long ago, and found out that our families knew one another. It was like a day to start shouting or something, like I was in church. Yeah, and that brother, I'll tell you, I love that brother. That brother loves me. We deep into what Omega Psi Phi is all about, because again, we joined at the hip.
Pleasure. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. What's the most important thing to you today?
Well, my family is the most important thing to me. You know, I put my relationship with my wife and my children above almost everything. And then my relationship with God, I'm a Christian man and go to church every Sunday, Brother Basilis. Got positions probably I don't or shouldn't have, head deacon, president of the trustee board, you know. I count the money for the church. And I'm a sinner. But God is good, brother. And that's why I serve him. That's why I get on my knees. I get on my knees and pray, brother, because again, I can't do this all by myself, man. I need some strength from above. And I do believe if you live right, treat people right, and again, try to be the best person you can be, good things will happen for you.
There you go. There you go. Now, Phi Beta Beta.
Yes.
1983.
Right.
Your perspective of that moment, that period from Rodney Gallman.
Man, I was having so much fun here in Los Angeles. Got here in '78 from college, and running so hard with these brothers. We playing basketball, we going to the park, frat games. I'm just doing the doggone thing out here, man, having a good time. And again, I was already financial when I left college to come here, but again, when I got here, I knew nobody knew me. I knew, again, that I was going to be trying to hang out with the fraternity. And so I went and joined Lambda. You know, all I had to do was pay the chapter dues and district dues, already financial nationally. But I wanted to show these men and show these brothers that, look, I'm serious about Omega Psi Phi. You know, I ain't stingy, I ain't tight, I ain't running. And again, I want to be a part of what y'all doing out here. And so, hung out with this brother named Maurice Valentine, Chi Beta brother, just took me by the hand, just showed me Los Angeles, helped me get my name out there as far as people knowing who I am, gave me an opportunity when he wasn't there to stop by other brothers' houses and just to chit chat with them and felt welcome. And man, that just made it all the better for me to live here in California, because again, I was coming from New Jersey and long ways from home, had no relatives here, nobody else. My mother said, man, you crazy, son? You gonna stay in California? I said, Mom, I got my fraternity, I'm all right, you know? And so that's how it was going for me in 1983. And so when they said, let's start the chapter, at the time, I didn't think about a day like today, me being recognized as a founder. I wasn't giving none of that any consideration. But again, I said, yes, let's do it, you know? And so all the brothers that was joining, starting the, chapter, except for a few I knew and had, good relationship with. And so it was easy for me. It was easy for me. I thought it was a good thing because, again, I definitely believe in Omega Psi Phi. You know, they had some good chapters here, too. I knew I was going to have to move on from Lambda, but, Zeta Rho was a choice. Lambda O was a choice. Tau Tau, I didn't know very much about those brothers out there in the South Bay, but I knew I was going to have to move on. But Phi Beta Beta came around, and we started that chapter, and it's been a blessing for me and been a blessing for City of Inglewood.
What brought you to California?
When I graduated I was getting a job with Westinghouse, and Westinghouse told me, anywhere in this country we have a location, we'll send you. And so I had already wanted to come to California. You know, if you live back east, everybody want to live in California, man. If they don't want to live here, they damn sure want to come here, you know? And I had enough of seeing all that sunshine on TV when it's freezing cold, and staying up late at night to watch a game that's being broadcast from California, you know, having to go to bed early because, again, I had to get up, go to work, go to school or something. And so when they say anywhere, if where there's a Westinghouse location they'll send me, I said, do you have something in Los Angeles? They said, yes, we sure do. And I said, wow, book me. And I was on my way.
And you've been here for
And I've been here since then, brother. What's that,
years?
43 years, brother?
One final question, team. What advice would you give to a new brother entering a fraternity 20 years from now?
Yes, 20 years from now or today, I'm going to tell them pretty much the same thing. When I talk to these interests that call me and want to talk to me, I say to them, brother, what you tell me, I want it to be the truth. I want you just say to me whether or not this is something that you want to be a part of and always be a part of. I don't want to waste my time trying to be your friend. I don't want to waste my time trying to open up my life and my home and everything I have to you when you know good and well you ain't really trying to be in the fraternity. You just want to wear the shirt. You just want to come out when it's cool to come out. And that ain't what I'm looking for when I try to encourage anybody to join this organization. Because I said it's going to cost you money. And the beauty of it is not just the men that's in your chapter. We're an international organization. Mm-hmm. You got to be willing to take this thing everywhere you go, you know? And so that's what I look for. And that's just a conversation I have with all these interests. Anybody that want to stop and talk to me about Omega Psi Phi, I want to know, are they looking to be in it for a lifetime? This is just something you just, again, want to say you did at the time, mm-hmm. you know, because again, this ain't no plaything. We ain't no, you know, fly-by-night organization, you know. There's a lot of men, good men, that come and go. I understand that. But right now, you talk about getting into something that, again, you said you want. Tell me why you want it. What are you going to do once you get in it? Because everybody tell you everything. I'm going to make it better. I'm going to make it this. I'm going to do that. Brother, just tell me, are you going to stay financial? Are you going to go to meetings? Are you going to participate in the activities of the fraternity? That's what I want to hear. You might lie to me and say that too, but that's what I want to hear, brother. You know, because it's good on this side of things, you know. You don't think about it when you're going through, but once you get through it, oh, it's good on this side, brother.
Brother Gallman, I appreciate it. That's the last question we got. And team, it's a pleasure. Thank you so
Thank you so much also, brother.
On,
I hope this is something that people can appreciate because, again, I really thank you and showing me this much respect.
That's all it's for. We're good.